Today I want to talk about why it's best to save your book covers that you've created in Canva or another app in a PDF. Well, a PDF is basically a vessel, a jar for holding high quality images. Downloading your book cover from Canva or other software or online app in PNG or Jpeg, there could be data lost. So it's best to download those images in a PDF if the software allows for it, which Canva does. In fact, Canva have suggested that if you download in Jpeg or PNG, you could end up with an image that's 96 dpi, when you'll find that Amazon and large printing companies want images of 200 to 300 dpi, or dots per inch. Now Canva, I've found, is a great way to convert your images into a PDF file without any edges, and the sizes are always exact. I've tried online PDF converters for images and I've ended up, the sizes haven't been right, or there's been a border, or the orientation hasn't been quite right, the quality's been lost. But I find that once I've finished my book cover in Canva and downloaded in a PDF, it's exactly as I saw it on the screen. It's exactly as it should be. So I'll use PDF if there's not much data in the image. A simple title, I might download it as a PNG and upload that as a book cover. But yeah, it's always best to try to use the highest quality you can. And don't worry about getting flagged with a little exclamation mark on Amazon's KDP. You know, that'll suggest maybe it's not quite made the 300 dpi. But that's okay, because the quality, for some reason, you know, I've had images there at less than 100 dpi, and the cover quality has been excellent. So don't fret too much about that, but try to get the best quality you can, and straight into whatever the image is, straight into a PDF, and download it from there, upload it to KDP, and you can't go too far wrong, really. So I'm going to show you how I upload a book cover without using the templates. I don't like the templates. When I've tried to actually use them in the past, yeah, it's not so bad. But once I see an example of what the book cover is going to look like in the KDP app, and there's lettering or images slightly off, or I may have missed where they want to put the barcode and information, where Amazon wants to put their own thing, and I've had to move items around, I'd rather upload the cover and then have a little look at it, and then go back to Canva or PaintShop Pro, whatever other image editing software I'm using, and move the items about, sort of realign them, and then upload the cover again until I'm really happy with how things are looking. So I'm going to show you that now. But yeah, download everything you can in a PDF. It's like I say, it's a jar, it's a vessel, and it'll hold the highest quality 300 dpi images from Canva, which is basically all your vectors and what other images you've used. If you used a photograph that's 100 dpi in Canva from one of their photo selections, well, that's basically what you're going to get. But if you use their vectors or their images, their scalable images, and text, colours, boxes, all those kind of things, little elements that can be stretched and pulled about, and they don't have the jagged edges. You know, that's the beauty of vectors. Let me show you now how I upload my covers to KDP. Oh, before I go on, if you're liking my videos, or you can tolerate me and my videos, hit the thumbs up, the notification bell to get notified on more videos like this one, and subscribe to my channel. Be a great help. Thank you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a couple of different examples of how to do, or how I do, my book covers in Canva. I'd use the same in PaintShop Pro. You can do it in any other software that's suitable, that you're used to and prefer. But I'm doing this in Canva because it seems to be quite a popular and easy to use program at this time. So I've made this cover. Oh yeah, it's a bit of a giggle. The size is 17 by 8.5 inches. So it's 17 that way and 8.5 obviously that way. And that's based on a book that's 8.5 by 8.5 inches, or 8.5 inches by 8.5 inches. Now, the book itself, I'm going to say it's with bleed. So it would be 8.625 wide by 8.75 tall. They're my preferred sizes for bleed. There's no bleed included in this. Now this is going to fall short when it goes into the KDP app. So let me show you that now. I'm going to download this as a PDF print. Right, that's downloaded and I've saved it in a file just for this demonstration. So here's the PDF. I'll now upload that in the KDP, and it's the upload cover file. So upload the cover file. Okay, that's loaded successfully. It took a couple of minutes. And now launch Previewer. So while we're waiting for that to upload, it'll take about a minute or so. I've based this book on, say, under 40 pages. It would have been a children's book, but not with that title. But that's the children's book size I use, is 8.5 inch by 8.5 inch, and usually under 40 pages. So there's no real room for wording on the binder. But if that's what I was to do, I would find the center there, which is there. I'd use this square, stretch it out, get some text, type in, Steve's gone crazy, and put my name in there as well as the author. And I'll give that a spin. And that's basically that. But as I say, the book is, let's just move this over here and we'll do the same that way. The book isn't that thick, so we don't really need that. So I'll remove that and that again. But you get the idea. Okay, that's uploaded, and as I said earlier, it will fall short, which it has done. But so it won't allow me to go any further. So that's fine. But what it has done is it's given me the exact measurement I need for this book. And if I use the same pages again, the same number of pages again in another children's book, say it's 36 pages, same size cover, I would imagine that those numbers will be the same. So I'll save them. And we put those numbers in. So it's 17.325 8.75. Now we could add the 0 on the end, but there's really no point in the zeros. So there we go, and we'll press resize. Now that's the size. Go back to print preview. Let's just have a little look, see where that blurb sits there. And it's way over to the left. The Steve's Gone Crazy is way over to the right of the page. So what I'll do is I'll just adjust those to a more central position. And we'll see how that looks. And we'll get that over to there. Okay, right, now we'll download it. PDF print, download. Okay, so we go to exit print previewer. I've saved the second file as Steve's Gone Crazy 2, so we'll upload that one. Click Launch Previewer. Okay, that's uploaded, and I'm happy with this side. This sits centrally from this line to between the red and the white line. These are trim lines. Ideally you want it inside the red line, and they suggest white line to white line because that'll get trimmed. The inside lines obviously don't get touched, but this is the bit that gets nipped off. But it can all depend on how much they take off. It's not, I mean, ideally it's the same every time. So I like to, but it's not. But yeah, so I like to keep this gap here similar to this gap here to the red, and maybe a little bit up to the white, even up to the white if need be, but not to the edge here. And that's sort of showing me the thickness of the book, which is just about right. This hasn't been interfered with, as in there's no wording behind it or anything like that, so that's good. This isn't so good, so what I'll do is I want that to go a little bit closer to that line to even that out, so that this sits more central. This is too narrow here compared to this here to the red, all the white. So, but it has let me approve it because it now meets all the edges. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to exit previewer, go back to Canva, and I'm going to move this just a little bit. And the same with that text, just over a little bit. And that over a little bit. And that'll do me. I'll save that now. I'll download that, obviously. If it was my book, I'd download it, go through the same process again, upload it, and then have a little look at it. But I don't really need to see anymore. That'll be fine. And if it's not fine, I'll come back and do the same thing again, move things over a little bit more. But that's how I like it. I like to do it that way. Now I'm going to show you another way I do it, which doesn't use the PDF. It just uses the PNG. Because, believe it or not, okay, so the PNG in a PDF, downloaded in a PDF, is fabulous quality. But it's incredible how Amazon managed to get such clear images from PNGs downloaded directly, even in a lower DPI. So it could be the 96 DPI, but a PNG. which isn't the 300 you'd be getting with the PDF. And I've even used Jpegs to do the covers with, but I have noticed a little bit of difference in that, a bit of pixelating in one of my covers when I first started. So I use PNGs and I download them directly. Now I'm going to show you that because it's a different setup altogether when you go in to upload your cover, but I do find it really easy, and in that way it does stretch the image. So if the image is slightly out on here, like I've got this at 17 and 8.5, my book is 8.5 plus the bleed, so that's 8.625 and 8.75. But this won't matter. I can have this at 8.5 by 17 and I won't get that original problem we had with the PDF. I'll show you now. I'll download it as a PNG. Keep the size as it is. Obviously touch none of these. And download. Right, now what I want to do here is, I've got this checked for uploading a cover I have in a print ready PDF. I want to use this one. Use Cover Creator. And I can upload stock images, cover images, all kinds of things that aren't necessarily, well, aren't in a PDF. So we'll click Launch Cover Creator. Right, once you've done that and you've opened the Cover Creator, you're given a choice of designs. They all look a little bit complicated, but all this stuff can come off. Now for this one, because I've already designed the cover complete, front and back, I'm going to choose this one, where you can see the covers front and back and it's full page. So I'll choose this design. It's just for show, in case you wanted to have a picture of yourself as an author up there, but that won't be on your cover, or this. Right, but these will, unless you remove them. So I'll do that. And that. And that. Now I did leave the author name off here when I designed the cover, and ideally if I was making a cover seriously like this, I would have had my name here in some way. Right, okay, so everything's looking good, but if I wanted to nudge that over a little bit more, which I could do, there's room for that, just one more nudge. This is fine, blurb's fine. Now these exclamation marks here, don't worry about them. We recommend 300, at least 300 dpi, it says, for quality. This image is only 115 dpi, so please choose another high resolution image or scale this one down. Now because I didn't download the image in a PDF, it's come out with a smaller dpi, which it says there is 115. Now Canva estimates about 96 if you don't download in a PDF, but up to 300 if you do. But at 115, that's absolutely fine. And this is how I do a lot of my covers, because I find it so easy. Because as you'll notice around the edges, it fits, because it's been stretched to fit. Whereas with the PDF, it'll knock it back and say it's not the right size. It needs to be an exact size. Whereas this PNG is not an exact size, yet it fits a bigger background. So that's one of the things I like about it. But yeah, I can go back into Canva, maybe just nudge that over a little bit more, one more nudge, and get that line. And I probably would if I was actually creating this book, because I'm picky, and maybe even squeeze a little bit out of that one too. But other than that, you get where I'm coming from. So we preview it. And it all looks good to me. But like I say, don't worry when you're doing a cover and you've downloaded a PNG instead of a PDF. You'll still get a fabulous quality image if you've used high quality images and text to start with. Ideally your text will be scalable, and things like this in the background, which was a vector, is scalable, which means you can drag it and there's still no jaggy lines. These kind of images too will expand, but they will go a little bit blurry because they're photographs. So you try to keep them within reason. And that's it.